Welcome back to the Ed Show, and thanks for watching tonight. There are some other big headlines today, all of them, frankly, alarming in my opinion. First, the Obama administration is forced to completely reverse itself on what was supposed to be a signature issue. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks, will be tried at Gitmo instead of a civilian court. Gitmo, you know, the prison that President Obama said would be closed within his first year in office. But last year's Defense Authorization Act included a provision banning funds for transferring prisoners from Gitmo to the United States, so no trial. So Attorney General Eric Holder basically had little choice. But he said Congress had inserted itself into the decision that should have been left to the executive branch. And he said lawmakers created needless controversy over the prospect of a civilian trial.
The reality is, though, I know this case in a way that members of Congress do not. I've looked at the files. I've spoken to the prosecutors. I know the tactical concerns that have to go into this decision. So do I know better than them? Yes.
Republican Mitch McConnell, the Senate Minority Leader, cheered the administration's decision, but so did Democrat Chuck Schumer, who's the senator whose state was the most likely venue of a civilian trial, New York. And the latest surprise from a disaster that could have been prevented. Last year's Deepwater Horizon explosion, with BP, Halliburton, and Transocean still under an investigation to determine if all three parties are responsible. But amazingly, with the investigation far from over, Transocean announced that it had its, quote, best year in safety performance last year. And it's awarding its executive bonuses based in part on that safety performance. 11 workers died in that explosion last April. 9 of them were Transocean employees. Meanwhile, 2 Transocean employees are refusing to comply with the federal investigation on the advice of their lawyers. And finally, in tonight's headlines, Southwest Airlines Flight 812. You're free to move the country now. The jet landed safely despite the hole that opened in the fuselage 20 minutes after takeoff on Friday. But now Southwest has voluntarily ordered checks of more than 100 planes of the same model, Boeing 737-300s. Subsurface cracks in the fuselage were discovered on 3 of those aircraft. Southwest outsources up to 75% of its maintenance to places like Guatemala and China, according to PBS. It is the industry norm. Somebody else is checking the aircraft that you're going on, not an American worker. Concerned about that? Boeing Corporation will now recommend that every airline worldwide run checks on older 737s to look for similar fuselage problems. That just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy.